you're jacked into Buffy's Angels, we're talking episode 17 this week of season 4 of Buffy and season 1 of Angel. Buffy's a superstar, which is the big Jonathan Levinson episode. I had to make sure Logan knew who Jonathan was earlier in the series so that when we got to this episode, it wasn't annoying to talk about it with him. So I'm glad we got here finally. And then also on Angel Eternity, which it's an interesting episode of Angel. You get to see a glimpse of Angelus, which for the first time on the Angel series. So let's bring him in, our gullible Gus, our first time viewer, enjoying it still, having just surpassed the first half of Buffy. We're now in, this is the first episode of the second half of Buffy. Let's bring him in. Logan, be a dare.
You act like it took me a long time to figure out who Jonathan was, but I feel like I knew halfway through the second season.
Right after perhaps his 17th appearance, you really locked into him.
Yeah, I'm kidding. That was
Yeah.
Angelus. I thought I was looking at the Joker for a little while.
What are you talking about?
That's what performance he was doing, I thought.
No way. I thought he was able to pull back to Angelus from season 2 instantly.
Seemed like he was really going for something there. Not that I didn't like it. I just thought it was pretty funny.
Whatever. Boreanaz could have played the Joker, man. I heard he was second in the running to Ledger. They were like, it's one of these guys.
Yeah. I did have the thought he
Yeah.
could have been pretty good.
I don't know. I mean, what? I guess maybe at some point. And look, we saw him in Valentine. He couldn't pull it off.
He's too big.
Yeah, he's too like dumb looking.
Well, you cover him with paint. You don't know.
Yeah, I know, but there's something about the Joker. You got to see a gleam in his eye. His eyes are dead, which is fine because he's playing a dead guy.
Yeah.
But
No,
the
maybe you're
Joker's
right.
alive.
That's a good point.
Yeah. All right. We're doing Superstar and Eternity. These aired on April 4th, 2000. A lot happened this week, by the way. So maybe I should just get into it.
Okay.
Um, so first of all, WrestleMania 16. I won't get into it too much because we're covering all the WrestleManias right now on the Sunday Night Wars, our new show. But I will say what a WrestleMania it was. I'll just tell you the like 3 of the matches. I won't tell you who wins them. Can I do that?
The streak, that's got to be going at this point.
Listen, what's this? Oh, Undertaker? Yeah,
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 he's got to
that
be
is
like
definitely happening.
like
Yeah.
10 wins deep or something.
Yeah, but he was off doing something outside the title picture this year. Let me tell you what's going on with the championships. Fatal 4-way for the world championship. Triple H versus The Rock versus Mick Foley versus The Big Show.
Wow.
Hello.
Yeah.
Then 3-way for the Intercontinental title. Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle. All right, and then for a ladder match for the tag titles, Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, and the Hardy Boys. And this
Wow.
match was so good that they were like, how do we top it? Eventually, they figured it out. Chairs as well as tables.
What about the ladders?
Well, this already had ladders.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, that's WrestleMania 16. The BAFTAs happened.
The British Academy of Film, Television, and Arts. BAFTA.
They voted for the best movies of the year. They agreed with America that American Beauty was the finest film that year, but they were like, halt! We're not giving Best Director to that. We'll give it to Pedro Almodovar for All About My Mother. And I just also wanted to point out that remember everyone was pissed off America gave supporting actor, the Oscars gave supporting actor to Michael Caine that year for The Cider House Rules. And we were all like, what about Tom Cruise and Magnolia?
Right.
Well, BAFTAs, they were like, fuck all y'all. We're gonna go ahead and give it to Jude Law for the talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh, that's cool, I guess. Never saw that
Yeah.
movie. I think
I
Martha
mean-
just watched it. Shout out to Martha.
Yeah, Martha was like, "There's men in it, so I don't like it."
No, I think she liked it.
Oh yeah, okay. Martha, hope things are going well with your new lords and masters, Hamas. Okay. Jude Law, one of our finest actors. He wins Best Supporting Actor. A couple of big, a couple of big births this week. Some current celebrities were born, came
Okay.
out of their mother's pussies, or perhaps their bellies. Maybe a C-section, as I was born.
Right.
All right. I didn't touch pussy till I was 17, motherfucker.
I
All
want to
right.
brag.
Actually, that's not even true because I went down on girls. But yeah, I didn't like penetrate one, I guess. Um anyway, the births this week, how about Jackie Evancho? You know her?
No.
You don't remember her? She was like this little blonde girl, and she was on it was sort of like the opposite of Susan Boyle. Remember Susan Boyle came out on America's or Britain's Got Talent, and everyone was like, "Look at this ugly bitch! Like, what's she gonna do?" And then she like sang beautifully, and we were like, "Wow."
Yeah. That was crazy of us.
Yeah, that was crazy of us. Well, Jackie Evancho was the reverse. She was like this little blonde kid, and she came out, and we were like, "What's this fucking kid gonna do?" And then she sung beautifully, like a classical, vocal piece.
Okay.
And then she got like a record deal. I remember people constantly looking for her albums when I worked at Barnes and Noble. So she was born this week. Also, another guy famous, not for his beautiful voice, but for almost getting shut up at a school. I'm talking about David Hogg.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Is that
Remember
Parkland? Was that one?
That's right, baby. Parkland. David Hogg. One of he was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and be an asshole to politicians. That's gonna be my life. I'm like, all right, you do it, dude.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. He has kind of a baby head though. Anyway, it's not his fault. Might have happened in the massacre.
What?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh my.
Hey, Michelle Kwan became the first figure skater ever to win 3 figure skating championships in a row. How about that? She three-peated like Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Wow, they call that I was gonna try to come up with a different hat trick, but I couldn't really do it. A skate
Yeah.
trick? I don't know.
They call it a triple axle.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Yeah.
All right. Something people don't know about me is I can tell the difference between ice skating maneuvers when I
Really?
watch figure skating. Yeah. I'm all about it. I'm like, guys, that wasn't an axle. What are you
Well,
talking about? That was
you
a
do
Lutz.
love the Olympics. That
I
is the thing
do.
about you.
Yeah, I've gained a lot of Olympics knowledge just through osmosis of constantly watching the Olympics. But
Yeah.
but yeah, triple Salchow, triple Lutz, triple axle. I can tell you the difference. Don't worry about it.
That's crazy.
NCAA men's basketball championships. Okay. Michigan State, MSU, not to be confused with the MCU, releasing another bad movie this week.
The Marvels? Is that one?
Yeah.
Is that actually bad? People are saying?
That's what people are saying.
No.
MSU beats Florida 89-76. Now I looked up the game, Logan. I wanted to see if maybe there was like a famous guy in it that I could be like, and you know who the MVP of that game was? Alonzo Mourning. Like that's what I wanted to do.
Right. But that's not.
I know I know the timing doesn't work out for Alonzo Mourning.
Right.
But
maybe it does. I don't know.
Charles Barkley. He was great.
Charles Barkley in college in 2000. That definitely.
That's right. Maybe he returned to college. I don't know. Maybe he got
he would definitely win. Then.
Yeah. Is that possible? Like if a basketball player gets drafted, like Kobe Bryant got drafted at like 18. Would it be possible for Kobe Bryant if he like had survived his helicopter crash? No women that he raped ever sought retribution against him. If when he retired from the NBA, he went back to college Would that be? Could that be a thing?
I
That's a
don't believe
good
that's
movie,
possible.
but it's a good idea for a sports movie, isn't it?
That's never been done.
I think it's a great idea. Do it with Shaq. A new Shaq vehicle where Shaq goes back to college.
There are quarterbacks in college football who are like 26 years old. They just like never got out, so they're just like
Yeah.
always in college being the quarterback.
I was just reading or listening to a podcast, and the guest was Gary Gulman, who's a stand-up comedian, and he said that his father finagled a way for him to repeat first grade, so that when he got involved in sports, he had a leg up because he was a year older than everybody.
That's kind of stupid.
Isn't that crazy? And then he became a comedian, so who cares?
Yeah, that's really stupid.
Yeah, yeah. So shout out to Gary Goldman's dad. Gary Goldman, by the way, great comedian. You don't know.
I don't know.
Check out his special, The Great Depression. One of my favorites, probably ever.
Okay.
In terms of stand-up, anyway. How about a couple big album releases this week? Oh, but anyway, the college basketball thing, there was nobody I recognized. I thought maybe you would recognize, but I didn't want to write them down. So that's all I have for it.
Maybe
Okay.
I would.
Maybe. Pink
What is it
released
again? I'll look it up while you talk.
the 2000 championship was Michigan State beating Florida 89-76.
Okay.
All right. Couple of big album releases this week. Pink released her first album, Can't Take Me Home. Now, we called her Pink back then because she was like a little hip hop girl with like a pink hair. And at the time, they were promoting her as sort of like she'll be the new Eve. Remember Eve?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was supposed to be like that. But then pretty much after that record, she like never did R&B or hip hop ever again for the rest of her career. And she just did like terrible pop stuff. Like that song, Fucking Perfect.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah, I do.
You're distracted because you're looking at basketball right now.
Yeah, I am. There are some pretty famous people here, by the way.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, well, we've got Udonis Haslem, who up until last year, I think, was the oldest player in the NBA. He just sat away and rotted on the Miami Heat bench. He was like, I'm going to be a Miami Heat until the day I die. Like, he won championships with them, and he was just like on the team as a player coach type thing. So
Well, people do move to Miami a lot to retire.
Yeah, so he's here, and then Mike Miller, who also I believe was on the Heat when they won at least the two later championships, not 2006.
Did he date Ariana Grande?
No, that'd be Mac Miller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but so that's all I see here. Mike Miller and Udonis Haslem. I'm pretty sure that other people would know, but AJ Granger, maybe people have heard of him.
Okay, but what's your favorite Pink song?
I would have to go. You know what I almost said? I almost said Hot and Cold, but that's Katy Perry, right?
Yeah, fuck. And it's not even a good Katy Perry song.
Oh, I like Hot and Cold. That's a good one. I like the lyrics to Hot and Cold. It's fun lyrics.
Hot and you're cold, yes, and you're no in when you're out. It's just her coming up with opposites.
No, I like the other stuff. It's not the chorus.
Okay.
The other parts. I don't know. What's the one she had with that guy from Fun? I like that one when that one came out. That was a good one. You know
Jack
that one?
Antonoff?
No.
I don't know. Well, that's the guy from Fun.
Really?
Yeah, Jack Antonoff, motherfucker.
It's called Just Give Me a Reason. Nate Russ.
Just give me a reason. No, I
Nate
don't like when
Russ.
she tries to get all like emotional. She can't pull that off.
Yeah, I think I actually hate that song now that I'm older.
No,
but when that came out, banger.
The only two Pink songs I'll allow being called bangers because I hate Pink. I'm constantly like, Pink, get out of here. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna do Tightrope over your head. And I'm like,
so what?
Leave me alone.
So what?
No, fuck that song. No, Get the Party Started. That's a banger. And I like that one. Raise your glass. Dirty little freaks.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
That one's all right. All right. So not only did that come out today.
By the way, I believe that's Tim's wife's favorite musical artist, Pink.
Yeah, I've known people that felt that way before. And my friend Gallagher, who listens to the show, has seen Pink live, I think, more than once. But
Wow.
yeah, I'm just not. I never liked her songs. Her song, like, it's just like I have no ill will towards Pink, like as a person. She seems kind of like a badass. Like it feels like if like someone was being an asshole to her kid, like Pink would pop her one, and I like that.
She does have a
But
kid who sang the Greatest Showman songs. Like what
yeah,
she I remember when she performed some of those. That was
I
cool.
think I think Pink's relationship with her kid is cute, but I just hate too many of her songs. That So What one, that Just Give Me a Reason, the fucking perfect one, the one where she's like, LA told me you could be a pop star. You just have to change everything you are.
Oh
That's a song.
yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
I don't hate it as much. I feel like
I think
you
that's
you definitely dislike her more than I do. I'm
it's
not a
just
fan though.
it's just the songs. I don't like her. It's like I want to support her, and then every single song she comes out with, I hate.
Yeah. Does she you have more respect for her than Beyonce though?
No. I mean, fucking Formation and Lemonade is better than anything Pink has ever put out.
Fair enough. You're forgetting
That's
Lady Marmalade.
Lady Marmalade. Yeah, that's another thing. She's part of that crew, huh?
Yeah.
What's her? All right, I'm done talking about Pink. Let's move on. Oh, blow me one last kiss. How does that go?
Wait,
No, you're
that's a
just
different
doing the raise
one.
to your glass.
Yeah, that's a different one. So
Yeah.
blow me one last kiss. Is that that?
Uh, yeah, I think I like that one.
But how's the
Wait, let
rest
me just hear it
go?
real quick. Right, whiskey dick. She says in that one.
I can't really hear it if you're playing it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just listening to it. We've had a shit day.
We've
I gotta
had yeah,
say, it
yeah, yeah.
sounds
We've
just
had
like
a
the other
shit.
one.
Yeah, it does. I can't really
Blow me
distinguish
one
it.
last kiss and raise your glass are the same song. All right, I never noticed it before, but I'm telling you, I bet she places them really far apart when she performs live.
Yeah.
One of them's at the
Yeah.
beginning and one of them's in the encore. I'm telling you.
Fucking
Um,
perfect. I feel like that's one that I know.
I hate that song. Now
Made
this
a
time
wrong
around,
turn. Oh yeah,
all
yeah.
right. Hanson also released their second album
Oh
this
wow.
day, called This Time Around. I remember it was highly anticipated, but then it kind of squirted out. No one cared. It was almost like it's April 2000, Hanson. You understand the millennium happened. Get out of here.
Yeah, we love Pink now.
You're a 90s guy.
You didn't
A
know.
90s trio of guys. Did you know I thought they were ladies the first time I saw them? Have I ever talked about that on the podcast?
Maybe because I remember they were the outro one week, so their song was around.
First time I ever saw Hanson on television. It was a music video from Mbop. And I thought that the older brother, Zach, no, the older brother was Isaac. I thought he was a dude, but I thought the other two were chicks. And I thought that Taylor was hot.
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
You think people like you think people are sexy before you even know who or what they are.
Sometimes it's a cardboard cutout.
That happens on multiple occasions. Like it's not that you just think that's a human. You decide it's a human and that they're sexy.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, I was like, maybe this is like the new Britney or whatever. But no, it was a boy.
You just saw hair
Yeah, I guess
and a
so.
petite
He had
body.
rosy cheeks too.
Oh, you
I
saw the
remember
cheeks.
he had some pink in his cheeks.
Oh my god.
All right. The number one movie in America for the third week running, and keep in mind we have skipped a month. The last episode of
Oh
Buffy aired in
wow.
February, and now we're in April. So we've gone forward a little bit. The number one movie in America for the third week in a row is Aaron Brockovich, and people will remember this movie at the end of the year. Very rarely a movie released this early gets nominated for Oscars and shit, but this won
Sure.
Oscars. Number 2 movie is The Road to El Dorado, which is a Disney cartoon, which I'm sure you saw as a kid.
Yeah, I think I told this story. My teacher made us watch that in Spanish class with the Spanish
because it's sort of
audio.
Spanish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun.
All right. The number 3 is The Skulls with Paul
Oh, Paul
Walker
Walker.
and Joshy J, Pacey himself. And I want to say about The Skulls is one of the Skulls direct-to-video sequels stars a Buffy actor that we have not met yet.
Wow.
How about
That's
that?
amazing. I can't
Yeah.
wait for that.
Number 4, Romeo Must Die, I believe in its second week, and debuting at number 5, a disappointing number 5, was High Fidelity. It ended up being a success just based on word of mouth. I went to see it in theaters, though. That and Brockovich are the only ones of these 5 I saw in theaters.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
But I saw all the other ones on video. Okay. The number 1 song in America, Logan, is a real surprise.
Okay.
Now, we finally got over Smooth, right? Smooth's done. It had its run. Rob Thomas and Santana. But don't worry about it. Santana is still on top
Are you
of
serious?
the world. Yes, he's got another number 1 song from that album. It's called Maria Maria.
Okay.
Spanish Harlem, the sound of a guitar played by Carlos Santana. That's right. His own name was in the song. All right.
Was he Pitbull?
I guess so. Well, in the last one, he had Rob Thomas singing with this one. If you look at the feature on this song, it's these guys, the Product GNB, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? I looked them up. They were proteges of Wyclef Jean, who got them. He got them this gig playing with Santana. He convinced the record company to release it as a single. Look, Wyclef was right though; it was a number 1 single, and and then they released their only album and faded into obscurity.
Well, 2 big hits. One of them I didn't even know about.
Well, I mean, 1 big hit from the Product G&B, 2 big hits from Santana.
Oh, okay. So 3 big hits.
No, what? Do you not understand what I'm saying right now?
Didn't you say 2 big hits from one album, one from another album?
No. That Santana album, it was all features. Okay, so every song had a guest star on it.
Rob Thomas.
Rob Thomas, the Product G&B. All right, so I'm explaining to you who
So they
they
don't
are.
count as hits for them?
This
What
is
do you
their
mean?
only hit, but it's a Santana song. When they finally put out their only album, they had no more hits.
Oh. Well, too bad for them.
Yeah. I wonder if they still perform this song at like family reunions and stuff.
Oh, that'd be so sad.
Yeah. Um let's talk about Buffy. It has some new Tuesday night mates. All right, airing against some new stuff. You want to hear about it?
Yeah.
How about Fox, which moved a fledgling show that's on the brink of cancellation to Tuesday nights? It's been failing. Ultimately, they're going to go on and cancel it in May. All right. It's a show called Family Guy.
Oh, they're gonna can't. What do you mean?
Family Guy was canceled at the end of this season and then off the air for a good 3 or 4 years. And then they brought it back based on DVD sales. And
Wow,
now
I
it's
had no
still
idea.
on till today. Yeah.
That's cool. Good for them.
Yeah. And the other big news show debuting Tuesday nights on CBS aired its pilot tonight called Falcone. They had a lot of high hopes for this show. It is a TV adaptation of the film Donnie Brasco.
Wow.
Yeah, it didn't last.
Who played Donnie
unfortunately.
Brasco?
Boy, a guy they evidently thought was a star. And I mean, I looked him up. Guy's done nothing. I mean, that's not true. He's actually still acting, so you got to give him that. But I mean, definitely not a star. His name is let's see. Looks like his name is Jason Gedrick. Does that mean anything to you?
Not anything.
Okay. Well, that's our star.
All right.
Honestly, the biggest stars in the entire cast are Eric Roberts and Titus Welliver, who played the Black Smoke Monster on Lost. All
That's
right.
cool.
Yeah, aka Bosch. Um, let's okay, so Buffy, this episode is of course written by Jane Espenson. She's obsessed with Jonathan. Anytime you see Jonathan take a significant role in an episode, it's going to be Jane Espenson. She wrote Earshot, where he tried to kill himself. Um, and I don't remember what other big Jonathan episodes there are. She wrote his first she wrote like his first big line, I think, like a couple of them. I don't remember. But anyway, she's friends with that dude in real life, so she always puts him in her episodes.
What's the one
Um,
where Cordelia's friends are like, "What? We would never date Jonathan."
yeah, that's to be honest, I was the reason I was fumfering just now is because I was trying to remember what episode that was, so I could tell you who wrote it, but
That
I
was
don't remember
sad.
which episode that is. Yeah, that's such a bummer. When she's like, when he's holding that big soda on the steps.
Yeah, just minding his
Oh,
own business.
I
Horrible.
know. God damn it. But anyway, so she's writing, and she also writes big high concept comedy episodes too. She's the one behind Band Candy.
Doppelgang. Oh, okay.
No, Doppelgangland was Whedon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um,
Should have known he got that girl there.
what?
That Willow, the one that Willow bites. That's one of his victims, right?
The one
Remember that episode? Willow comes in and bites the girl, and that's one of
she
Joss's.
bites a girl?
Yeah, Vampire Willow comes in. She
Who's she
bites
bite?
a random girl that we discovered was a Joss victim. You don't
All
remember?
right, easy. I think she doesn't bite her. I think she like kisses her on the cheek or something.
No, she.
All right, I could be
I don't
wrong.
know. I may be right, but
All right.
we talked about it.
Anyway, Espenson, but like she wrote Living Conditions earlier this year, or no, she didn't. That was Marty Noxon. She wrote The Harsh Light of Day and Pangs and A New Man. Those are her entries this year.
I'm pretty good.
Okay, pretty good. And last year was Band Candy and Gingerbread and Earshot. She's a
I
very
like those.
fine writer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And her episodes are always a little quirky and goofy. And our director this week is David Grossman, who's really making a name for himself. Earlier this year, he directed 2 episodes, Living Conditions and Wild at Heart, both really good. And this is his 3rd episode of the season. And this guy's knocking it out of the park. David Grossman. He's one of our best right now.
Yeah.
And this aired April 4th, 2000. Let's talk about it. Logan, scroll your notes.
All right. Well, we get the previously on and we see Jonathan in the previously on. And I was immediately like, well, Jonathan better be the fucking superstar. I don't know what I'm signing up for here. And turns out he was the superstar.
The titular superstar.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Great opening credits where we see all the clips from I guess this episode only. I was questioning. I was like, if he was going to be like a regular or whatnot. But
No,
I didn't really think so.
I love the opening credits, and some of them are clips from this episode, but they also went and refilmed a couple of like old moments and had Jonathan there instead.
Well, there's the great moment at the end where it's like the reverse Angel, where Angel walks away from the camera, and then we have Jonathan walk toward the camera. I thought that was like a clear Angel thing.
No, that's an Angel thing. But I mean, there's a couple of moments where it's like shots from early Buffy episodes and Jonathan's there.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Go on.
Oh yeah, but anyway, so they're like fighting vampires.
It was very how disconcerted were you? Because I remember watching this episode for the first time, and I'm aware of who Jonathan is. I'm the biggest Buffy fan in the world, but the show hasn't aired a new episode in about a month and a half at this point. And then we come back, and this is the episode. I remember feeling legitimately confused.
Me too. Oh, me too. I checked the episode twice to make sure that I was watching the right episode. Like
Yeah.
I was pretty confused if I was even watching the right one. But yeah, I mean, what does disconcerted mean?
Confused.
Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't say I was. I
Put
mean, I
off?
was. I wasn't put off or anything. I was upset we didn't get Faith, obviously, but I mean, I guess fine, whatever. And anyway, so
We'll see her again next week.
we see a nest of vampires, and we're like, "Oh, we got to get some help." And then we go to this person spins around in a chair, and it's Jonathan. Cut the credits.
Yeah.
Great time. And then we go to Giles' house. I have a question. We see Jonathan wearing a leather jacket. When's the last time Buffy wore that leather jacket that Angel gave her? We haven't checked in on that in a long time, but I feel like it's been like, was it when he killed Jenny Calendar? Was she like, I'm done wearing this?
No, she wore it a little bit in season 3, but now I just think like she and Angel are broken up. Like it probably holds
It's
memories
still like a
for her.
jacket though. Like in my,
It,
every episode, every
Jonathan
occasion.
Jonathan wearing this leather jacket. Do you think that Angel gave it to him because it was cold out at some point?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, but
Because like so much has been rewritten in this episode. Like Spike is Jonathan's arch enemy now, and they say Jonathan crushed the master's bones, and Jonathan incinerated the school with the mayor inside. So like,
I think that's possible. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's very possible that he had a lovely romance with Angel.
Yeah. That's great. I think we should go with that.
Yeah,
Um, so Jonathan is what he calls Giles, Rupert, which I thought was pretty
yeah,
funny. And they go back to that nest of vampires, and Jonathan kills them all. And there's paparazzi and whatever.
that's right.
They run into Spike. What happens with Spike in this episode?
Well, Jonathan's like, you don't want anyone listening in from the bushes. Isn't that right, Spike? And then Spike walks out from behind the bushes. I like that moment. And he sort of flirts with Buffy for the second episode in a row.
Spike did.
Yeah, it's weird. Like anytime we set up like any alternate reality, like either Faith is in Buffy's body or, you know, Buffy is now not a typical Slayer and Jonathan's in charge. Like anytime something like that is done, it's acknowledged that in those worlds, Spike has some sort of physical attraction to Buffy.
But I think he was just doing this because she hit on him so much last episode. He doesn't understand what happened last time.
I don't think that's true, man. I think reality has changed so much that the last episode, as it pertains to this episode, is almost moot. Like, not completely, because they are talking about, Riley having fucked Faith in Buffy's body. That's being acknowledged, and like Adams in this episode. But I don't know. Like, that doesn't strike me as a reaction from a previous episode.
Okay. I don't really understand what's going on with Spike. This is probably the least I've liked Spike. I don't know this episode or this stretch of
He's just in limbo. He's got the chip.
yeah, I don't know what they're doing. But so Willow is like, "Hey Tara, you're not going to believe everything that's going on right now. Uh it's crazy." And then she's like Tara's like, "What's going on with Buffy?" Because last time I talked to her, she was Faith and that was terrible. And cut to Buffy, she's hanging out with Riley, and Riley, and this was awesome. Riley's shirtless, which was awesome on its own, and he's playing basketball. And I was excited. I was like, "Oh, balls poster! It's gonna be right there." And I look at it, and it's a Jonathan poster. It's a poster of Jonathan.
Yeah.
Great touch.
There's a lot like that in this episode. If you noticed in the scene at Giles's apartment, the previous scene, Anya is eating cereal out of a box, and it's Johnny O's cereal.
Oh,
Picture
that's
of Jonathan on the cover.
I didn't notice that. I loved
Yeah.
all the Jonathan stuff, but that's one thing I didn't notice the cereal. But yeah, they go all out. He's got baseball cards and comic books and posters and
Yeah. They
books.
say that he was in the Matrix.
He was in the Matrix. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I didn't know this cereal. Johnny O's. He so yeah, so we go there and Buffy, Riley tries to give her like I'll show you how to play basketball. This is how you shoot. And she's like, I hate basketball. And she leaves. Riley's like, oh, that bummer. Anyway, so Buffy goes and she eats with Jonathan, and this girl shows up, Karen with a K. She's a pretty prominent character in this episode. And
Yeah.
there's another girl too, but I don't know who it is. But they get his autograph, and
I thought a lot of watching Karen with a K about how in this period of time we just made black women look like white women.
Is that what we're doing
Like
here?
she's completely her hair and her clothes. Like she's a rare black character on Buffy, but like she is forced to look so fucking white and
That's
and
horrible.
and now and like be into short little white Jonathan. I don't know. Like I looked up this actress now who mostly does voice work these days. Um, she had her hair done in like a sort of a fro-y look, and like she just looked so much more comfortable.
Hmm.
I think a lot about the challenge. Like, how Janae looked when she first played and how she looks now?
You mean sexy back then?
No, I mean that now she's allowed to look like a black girl. And back then she dressed like fucking Christina Aguilera or some shit.
At least you just dressed like the mid 2000s.
Exactly, but that black women were being forced to dress that way.
Okay.
Anyway, it drove me nuts. I was thinking about that a lot. Um,
I didn't
Karen
really
with a
notice.
K. Well, you know, that's you're not you wouldn't notice just on this appearance. It's just something I think about a lot.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Then we meet this. Is this guy gonna come back? George. They said his name George Haviland. I wrote it down.
who the fuck is that?
He's the guy that's like talking to the initiative, and then Jonathan comes in. He's like,
Oh,
"I'm George Haviland," and this.
absolutely not. They just needed somebody
Oh,
for that.
they said a
And
name, so I thought.
no, I mean Engelman and Walsh are both dead now, so they don't really have an authority figure at the initiative.
True. That's why I thought they were setting this guy up. But no. But they mentioned something that I think has to come back. If not, what are they doing here? I think there has to be a scene where we decapitate Adam and he's still walking around doing some chores or something. They say it's living in his heart, uranium-235, they say. So if you cut his head off, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Well, the uranium 235 thing, I have always thought it was a mistake to introduce that in this episode. Um, yeah, that is important, and it does carry through to the end of Adam. I mean, until the end of whenever. But like, I uh I remember watching the season and assuming, okay, well, everything that happened in this episode was fake. Like that, it's like an alternate world. But it seems like a big plot point for season 4 to bury. I mean, then when you're talking about this season, you have to say like, well, Jonathan came up with that. It's weird.
I didn't really think about this stuff as being like not real, just because it's in like this weird universe.
It's not that it's not real, but to me, this should have more of like an early Buffy standalone feel. I don't think like
I get it.
don't put Adam in it. Like I like the scene with Adam where he acknowledges that like the world has been changed or whatever. But I don't maybe it was a mistake putting it so late in the season. Like episode 17, you have to be like setting up for the end of the season. And this episode kind of is, but it's also doing this goofy. I don't know. I love this episode. I wish it was more of an outlier and had less to do with season 4.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because it felt like we were stretching to even include Adam in those faith episodes, and now we ditched the faith stuff and we're forcing Adam into this weird Jonathan episode. Yeah, it's a weird spot for it. I don't really know a better spot. Maybe get rid of
Yeah.
beer bad, put it in the beer bad spot, but it is weird. I don't know. But all right, so Karen with a K gets attacked by a demon, runs off. Jonathan, I like the moment where he's gonna shoot those apples off the
I
guy's
like
head.
that too.
Fun moment. Great music in this episode, I thought.
Yeah, sort of jazzy.
Yeah, it's like
Well, they made it sort
Austin
of like James
Powers.
Bondy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love you go to Austin Powers.
yeah. Yeah, because it was more funny.
Yeah.
Um, but Yeah, that's fine. Go to the bronze. This was all great. Anya is talking to Xander. She's like, I swear I didn't mean to moan Jonathan's name. That was an accident. Great stuff out there. And Jonathan sings a song. Great job
Yeah,
singing a song.
and performs a trumpet solo.
And Tara, I love that moment from Tara. She's like, "Oh my god, I didn't know he was gonna perform stuff from his new album. This is so
Yeah.
exciting."
And Anya and Xander both get so horny watching him play trumpet that they have to go fuck.
Yeah, so good. I love when they're walking off and they can't, but they can't keep their eyes off of him, so they're just like mesmerized.
Anya's fantastic in this episode. Her
I
obsession with
agree.
Jonathan, when Buffy goes to like visit like Xander's basement and she's just like trying to read Jonathan's book and like trying to get
Yep,
her out. I love that moment. She's so funny in this episode.
I agree. Huge Anya episode. Um, And so Karen with a K comes into the bronze and she talks to Jonathan. She's like, "Oh my god, I got chased by a demon." And she like has there's like a symbol and he's like, "I know the symbol. This means that it's not a dangerous demon. I'll take care of it. NBD." Right? That means no big deal.
I know.
And then so we go to Adam. He sees like on the TV and he's like, "This guy Jonathan is not he's not a real threat to me, so it doesn't really matter." I didn't really get it, but
Please never stop
whatever.
doing your Adam impression.
You do love the Adam voice. That's your favorite thing when Adam
It is
talks.
great.
And
Um,
then oh
wait,
yeah.
I'm not done with that scene.
Okay.
Like I like it because it's showing like Adam has so much awareness of the world at large that he's the only one that can see through the ruse of this spell that Jonathan has put on. Even like vampires and other demons like have been taken in by it. And the vampire he's talking to is played by Rob Benedict, one of my favorite TV character actors who anytime he shows up in something now, I'm like, oh good, he's still working.
We talked
Because
about him
he
last week. He's not the same guy.
who did I talk about last week?
Well, didn't Adam find like a group of vampires that's he's now like, "This is my crew." This wasn't the same guy?
No,
Oh, sorry.
I don't think so. Let
Well,
me just make
I
sure.
thought he like found a crew and I figured this was the same guy.
He did, and I think you're meant to assume this guy's part of that crew, but he wasn't actually in that episode, this
Oh,
actor.
okay.
Um, yeah, this is Rob Benedict, who to me was one of the best cast members on Felicity. He was one of their dorm mates. He was fucking hysterical. Anytime he showed up, he's great. In many ways, he was the Jonathan of Felicity.
Wow. That's cool.
Uh, but you know, he's had a great career. He hasn't had a great career. I'll amend that. Like I love him. I think he's a great actor. I think he should have had a great career. And you know, you kind of just have to enjoy him where you can find him. He is in the movie Waiting. He has a pretty prominent role in that. Remember that movie?
Yeah, we'll cover it. Still waiting, of course.
Yeah. And he was on a great sci-fi show called Threshold that I loved. That was canceled after 9 fucking episodes. Ridiculous. But it was an amazing cast. It was him, Carla Gugino, Peter Dinklage, Brent Spiner. It was a great cast.
All right. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Um, let's move on. What's next?
All right, so Jonathan, he's standing by a fire, and this sexy woman comes out, and she's like, "Jonathan, come to bed." And then like another sexy woman comes out, and she's like, "Yeah, Jonathan, come to bed." And I thought this was very funny. He's
They're
standing by a fire wearing a robe, which implies like he's very comfy. He's maybe a little cold. Don't want to remove the robe, you get a little cold. And he's also standing by a fire, which gives off heat, warmth. And then, but he removes the robe for us so we can see the little tattoo. Or was it a tattoo? Like a
he
marking,
says
whatever?
it's a tattoo. It looks like a burn to me.
Yeah, it did. It looked like it got branded like 6 years
Yeah.
ago. And but I thought it was funny. He removed the robe all the way downstairs, which means he's got to make that walk upstairs without his robe on. He'd probably get a little cold walking upstairs.
Yeah, but then he'll get warmed by those two twins.
But I thought it was
And twins.
But you'd remove the robe upstairs when you're in the presence of the two
No,
twins.
man. I say you remove the robe downstairs that just appear in the bedroom door, you know, cock flapping in the wind.
To impress a chick.
Yeah.
Helicopter dick.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
helicopter. Yeah.
They were twins. I don't think I noticed that.
They were blonde twins. They're twins in real life, the actresses. I read that in the show they have like European accents, like they gave them little like Swedish accents or something.
Yeah.
But the twins in real life were from Kentucky, and they just dubbed over their voices with
Oh, well, me.
Swedish accents. Yeah,
I didn't notice. But I really liked that moment. Thought it was funny.
I like it too.
Um, and so here we go. Pretty insane moment here. Tara, Willow, Buffy. They're walking around outside. I guess that's not that crazy, right? But then Tara decides, it's getting late. I'm gonna go head off. I'm gonna go to sleep. And so Tara goes off. We follow Tara in her dorm, so you know something bad's gonna happen. And she gets attacked by a demon, and it looked to me like mist started shooting out of her hands. What's going on there?
What?
How does she do that? She's just like
I don't believe that happened.
she's just like conjures up mist out of her hand.
I think you made this up.
No, she's like "Doo-da-da, doo-da," and then she like
That
starts like
happens?
I'm pretty sure it was crazy.
All right.
I didn't know
Well,
how
I mean,
she
she
did
is a
it.
witch.
But you need to do like you have to have like witchcraft and shit. You can't just do
Okay,
shoot
Logan, do you
things out of your
remember?
hand.
Do you remember a few weeks ago in the episode "Goodbye Iowa" when Willow and Tara were doing a demon locator spell to try and find a demon, and
Yes.
Tara sabotaged the spell, and we were like, "What was that?
Oh.
What the fuck was that?"
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay.
Huh. I don't know what that has to do with this. But yeah, I do remember that. That was interesting.
Well, why might she sabotage a demon locator spell?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say.
I think I know what you're thinking.
Well, obviously, because she's a demon, but
Right, that's what we're supposed to be thinking.
I didn't think that. I never thought that. We talked about it. I thought it was like because she doesn't want Willow to become like a better witch than her and leave her in the dust.
I think that's another option. Yeah, we don't really know the answer, but if now she's just shooting shit out of her hands, I don't know.
Well, you didn't even know that, so you
Well, I'm
apparently I
just
made that
saying
up.
this might be what was going on with that. I didn't notice it, but
Oh, okay. I thought it was crazy. But so here we go. Tara, she gets hurt. She goes. Willow takes her to her bed. She's all like sick and whatnot. She has a line. Did you notice this? Buffy comes in and Willow says she's terrified.
sir, as soon as she said that, I said it out loud to my girlfriend, of course, emphasizing the Tara part, and we had a real nice laugh.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah,
Terrified. Okay.
terrified.
He really was terrified. I'd like to get Willow would like to get terrified, am I right?
Yeah, you better believe it.
And so Tara, she's like, Buffy, that demon had that that symbol from earlier that other girl was talking about. And Buffy's like, oh no, that means that Jonathan lied to us. And so Jonathan or Buffy goes to everybody and she's like, Jonathan lied. He's not who he says he is. And they're like, what? You're crazy. He's exactly who he says he is. He killed the master, he killed the mayor, he's doing all this amazing stuff.
Couple other things that they say he gave Buffy her class protector award. No, they say that Buffy gave him the class protector award at the prom.
Yeah.
That pissed me off. I'm
Really?
like, that was like the first time in the episode I was angry at Jonathan for doing this. I was like, don't take that away from her.
Yeah, it's a good point. I didn't get angry, but I probably should have.
They also said he coached the women's soccer team to a World Cup, which was a big deal at the time. The women's U.S. soccer team had just won. I remember the goalie popped off her top on the field when they won in celebration, revealing
What?
her sports bra.
Oh.
She had a sports bra underneath, but still, everyone got super up in arms and crazy about it.
Yeah, not
Mhm.
interested. But um, so yeah, I love this part where Anya, Buffy is like, Anya, you made wishes. Is it possible that they can make wishes? And Anya's like, yeah, That is really possible. They can even make like alternate universes. Like I guess somebody can make one where Jonathan's a weirdo if they really wanted to, but that would be
Yeah.
crazy.
Wait,
That-
but this whole bit is the best bit of this episode, where earlier on, when Buffy visits her in Xander's basement, she's like asking about alternate universes, and Anya's like, "Well, you can, if you really hated shrimp, you can make a world where no shrimp exist, and if you really loved shrimp, like you can make a world where nothing but shrimp exists." And then later on she like brings this up again and Buffy gets annoyed
yeah.
and what does she say? She goes,
She
he's
says
treating you all like pawns. And she goes for
prawns.
prawns.
She's like, stop with the fucking shrimp. Get over it.
That is the funniest fucking thing in this episode. I'm gonna give Anya the MVP of this episode.
No way. I'm going Jonathan MVP.
I mean, that's probably the choice, but I kind of knew you would do it.
Yeah, that's a good pick though. And we've got a Giles has a swimsuit calendar of Jonathan, which is good. They pull that out.
He says he doesn't have it, but then admits that he does.
That's how they find the mark on him. It's because it's in the calendar, which
Yeah.
seemed crazy. Like if you're Jonathan and you've got that mark on you, why would
I know
you?
he's all like weirdly turned around in that poster, so you can see his face, but also his shoulder blade.
Yeah, for weird pose there. But
Yeah.
Jonathan shows up and he's like, "You're right, Buffy. Let's go off and talk." They run into Spike again. I don't know what happens here, but Spike shows up yet again. Xander, he's like, yeah. Oh, Riley, by the way, is also in the scene, and Xander's talking to Riley like, you can't just like do any magic you want to, and then he catches the book on fire.
I like that. Like if I said Librum in Flamo, like I it wouldn't just, and then the book starts on fire. I love that.
Yeah, pretty good there. And I guess they come to the conclusion that Jonathan did everything bad and whatever. And I like the line from Xander. He's like, "That's like a world without sunshine." I thought that was funny. So then we go to Jonathan and Buffy. They go down to like this hole in the ground and they fight the demon. Jonathan looked like was going to kill Buffy for a second, but then
What if one day we found out that Taylor Swift was just some dumb high school white girl who did a spell, okay, to be the best at everything, and she became Taylor Swift. Like that's who it would be, right? Like if anyone in the world right now is doing this spell on us, it's got to be her, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure who else. Like everything is like so perfect for them, like they got to be doing a spell. No way this could happen to one person. I think it would have to be.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Congrats to
you.
Taylor.
Your life is so great. It seems like you're doing a spell.
No, I would never be able to think of anything better than what my life is right now.
You could walk to that dome. That's cool.
Hey,
What's it called? I always forget what it's
my
called.
Uber driver last night went to go see you two there and told me about it.
Wow, that's cool. What's it called again?
I think it's called
sphere? The
the
globe?
sphere, yeah. The
Oh,
MSG sphere.
MSG? What's that?
Madison Square Garden. I think the Madison Square Garden people own the sphere.
Oh, that's what I thought, but I didn't think that makes sense. That's
Mm.
crazy. I didn't know that's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, we fight the demon. There's one moment where it's in the opening credits. Jonathan does like the Shawn Michaels, like he kicks himself back into the air, like he's on the ground, and then he kicks up. I was thinking Shawn Michaels when I
it's
see
called a
that.
kip up. Yeah.
He does a kip up. What do you think of Shawn Michaels when you see that?
No, because so many wrestlers do it now that I think of current wrestlers.
But he was like one of the first ones. He's so agile, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, he was. But if I think of a kip up now, I think of like Orange Cassidy.
Oh wow, that's crazy. But he does one of those things. I thought that was really cool. And everything goes back to normal. And you know what my favorite part of this was?
Tell me.
Probably your favorite too. There's a poster of Jonathan. What does it turn into?
Oh, a dingoes ate my baby poster.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was, by the way, a poster for the website jonathan.com.
Jonathan.com, straight up.
Yeah.
They got Jonathan.com.
I can't believe he pulled that off.
I can't. He's Jonathan.
Yeah.
Come on.
I bet he got at Jonathan day one on X.
And at John, just in case he wants to go by that one.
Just in case, yeah.
But this made me think. I don't know if this is what they implied by this, but it made me think the dingoes were thriving. Right?
No, it made me think it's like an old ass poster that like
That's
nobody
possible,
taken
but
off yet.
no, it made me think that like we're like, oh yeah,
They've got
we
a
knew
new
the dingoes before
guitarist.
they were big. That's what it made me think, kind of.
Do you think they have a new guitarist? They've replaced Oz. I mean, how are they thriving? Like Oz is
I think Oz
elsewhere.
came back. I think he tried his own thing for a few weeks and then he decided, no, what I'm good at
He's
is
just
the
there and
dingoes.
hasn't told anybody.
Oh, like hasn't told Buffy or Willow or anything?
Yeah. He's just hanging around the campus.
No, they're off touring. They're like they're like a huge
that-
band at this point.
I think we would have heard about it.
No, he hasn't told them. He like, well, I guess it would be big news. But
All right, listen. We're gonna get an Oz update in like 2 episodes. And that's not what's going on.
Okay. Oh, I thought the dingoes were a big success at this point. But all right, so Jonathan, this was crazy. So afterward, he's like standing off by himself. Buffy goes up. He tells Buffy that while he was in counseling for the trick that he pulled at the school, he met somebody who
The trick? You mean the attempted suicide?
That is, yes, that big trick. And he met somebody who had this spell.
I've always wondered who this is. Who did he meet?
But also, like, what's the timing situation here? Like, he met them a long time ago, and the spell just took effect.
No,
recently.
No, I would argue that they met in counseling like the summer between high school and college. All right, and now he like just recently did the spell.
You just been sitting on it?
Maybe, yeah. You know, Jonathan has morality, unlike a lot of other, evildoers on the show.
He was gonna kill everybody.
He wasn't. He was gonna kill himself.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was that demon that was gonna kill everybody.
It was the lunch lady. Yeah,
but she was a demon, wasn't she?
I believe she was just annoyed by the people.
Really?
Yeah.
She was just a lunch lady murderer?
She's just the lunch lady, yeah. The demon in that episode are the ones with no mouths that make Buffy have telepathy.
Right. Yeah. I guess you're right. Jonathan has morals or whatever.
Thanks.
So yeah, I don't know. And then he's like, yeah, remember that advice I told you about Riley? Stick to that advice. Move forward in your relationship. I don't know. But so
do you know what annoys me about this scene?
What?
His hair is back to how it looked in high school. He's had like cool hair the whole episode. And it's like clearly like, I mean, maybe you had hairdressers or whatever because you were famous, but like, why don't you just like throw some gel in there? Like, you don't have to like go from that world back to this world and like go all the way back to being like a dork. Like, surely you learned some things about like how to be cooler and better accepted. So like, I don't know, like put on some nice clothes and throw some gel, some mousse in your hair, buddy. Why do you need to look like that?
In the cool world, did he just look like that, or did he know how to make his hair look like that?
No, in the cool world, Brad Pitt fucked a cartoon.
That's a movie?
That's a movie called Cool World. Sorry.
Never heard of that.
Well, it's on theaters.
That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, he just doesn't know how. Like he wants to look like that. He just doesn't even know where to begin. Doesn't know how to do the mousse in the hair.
I like that he said the twins moved out.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah. Like there's been an aftermath.
Yeah. So cut to Buffy and Riley. They're kissing. And Buffy's like, wow, we're really sorting all this out. We're doing a great job talking this through. And Riley's like, Buffy, we're not talking at all. And she's like, oh, yeah.
Well, I talked it through with Jonathan. Fuck off.
Yeah. She's like, well, that's fine. We're still doing a great job. And they keep kissing. And then she's like, oh, yeah, Jonathan.
And that's from earlier in the episode where Xander says that Anya moaned Jonathan's name in bed. And she's like, oh, it's more like Jonathan.
Yeah, Yeah. So here we go. Great. I thought great ending. I don't
I
know
love
top
this
five
episode.
worthy, but it's good stuff. I
Yeah.
liked it. I'd say I liked it. I don't think I loved it as much as you did. I don't even know where I rank it.
It's hard to rank. Like I want to give it a 4, but I don't want to put it that high. Who's your MVP and LVP?
My MVP is gonna go Jonathan. My LVP, it's but I might go Spike.
Oh, fuck off. I'm gonna go with Karen with a K, unfortunately.
In my opinion, she didn't do anything wrong, but the thing you pointed out, I didn't even notice. So maybe that's crazy. So maybe that is the LVP. Karen with
I
a
mean,
K.
it's not her fault, the stuff I pointed out. But
Right.
it's just so crazy. Like I can like show you a picture of what she looks like now versus back then, and it just is so obvious how much we at some point just pressured hot black girls to look like what hot white girls look like.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think I'm gonna put it between this year's girl and Anne, number 32
okay.
of 73.
Where do I have this year's girl?
You have this year's girl, number 28.
All right, I like that more than this. So start there.
All right, this year's girl. Under this year's girl, you have The Harsh Light of Day, The Freshman, Living Conditions, Band Candy,
Wow, so much season 4.
Bad Girls, Consequences, Revelations, Faith, Hope, and
All right.
Trick.
You could put this between consequences and revelations.
All right, so you have it at number 35, and I have it at
Yeah, that feels good.
32. So pretty good.
Yeah. Um,
I miss Faith.
you'll see her next week. Next next we've got Angel. You want to talk about Angel?